That looks. Does it have an inscription or anything that you know of?
This watch was tested every month. Well, he worked for the. See this little hook?
Yeah.
The watch hung on there, but he took it down.
So they would test it every month to make sure it was on time?
While he was working.
Huh.
You could not work for transportation. You can imagine how old that is.
Wow. I've got most of the I've got the facts I needed. I'm just trying to think of how to. You know, I love stories. I love stories a lot more than facts. When you think of one person, let me pick a person. Aunt Annie, who I know, who I used to do a pretty good imitation of, in fact. I had her voice down pretty good. If you were going to tell one story about that person, let's just say Aunt Annie, what would that story be?
Aunt Annie, your grandfather was the oldest, and Aunt Molly was after him. Then Aunt Annie came next. Catherine came next. And Gertie. There was a big family there. Mm-hmm. And there was 2 other brothers. The last one just died, Tommy. Patty was out here to visit, and his wife. Mm-hmm. And then there was another brother, Tommy. He just died. Mm-hmm. And I think he was about 83 years old. Of course, they were all born and raised by the seashore. And Aunt Annie worked for the brothers.
Oh, that's right, she did. She worked at
That's how you got in there.
At St. Pat's, yeah.
She worked at St. Pat's. Mm-hmm. She was a cook there. Mm-hmm. And I think you couldn't have got in there at that time. Neither could, what's his name? Michael. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I think I told Aunt Annie, she said, what? She said, well, find out about that. Mm-hmm. So, of course, when she went in the next day, she got a hold of the head brother. Mm-hmm. And she said, you know, that's my relative. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, I didn't know that. He said, you know, we're kind of filled. But he said, tell him to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know about Michael. Michael didn't do too good there. Well, Michael isn't doing good anywhere. Poor kid, there was something wrong with Michael.
Yeah, I don't remember him being a good student.
It was never bright.
I did pretty good, especially as I got older, I got better in school there.
Well, Michael, well, the mother was mother had a nervous breakdown.
His mother was who?
Michael's mother. She'd been sick a lot. Funny, I had a picture here of Aunt Annie I ran across, and the school. I was showing it to your dad the other day.
She worked at St. Pat's.
She worked at St. Pat's, and there's a big party up there for her when she retired.
Yeah.
Here she is. That's her.
Yeah. She retired on February 16th, 1987.
Yeah, and I was at the party. They really had a nice turnout, the brothers, the whole thing.
And she cooked for them? What was her job there?
She was a cook. Mm-hmm. She fed them.
Mm-hmm. For a long time, right?
Oh, yes, she baked bread for them and biscuits, and she really was there a long time. She was there till she died. Aunt Annie was 80 years old.
Did she? So she never actually retired?
No, she didn't. Mm-hmm. Her husband died pretty young too. He died of cancer. And she had that one son.
Who was her son?
Michael McKeown.
Michael McKeown. Who I cannot picture his face. But.
Yeah, so I ran across that, and I'm going to give it to Mary Jane. Mary Jane has albums galore.
I've seen them; they're great. Mm-hmm. Now my grandfather, your husband, what I hardly knew him since I was so little.
No, he died young.
He was, if you were going to use a couple of adjectives to describe him, what would they be?
He was a very quiet, easygoing man, very kind. He never raised his voice. He never had no trouble. I don't think we ever had a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, we only had your dad and Mary Jane. There were no trouble.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider him, was he interested in the news of the day, or did he read the paper on a regular basis, or did he have any political affiliations or any of that kind of stuff?
No.
No. He was family man, union man, worked hard.
He worked.
He never had any. Did he ever go on vacation? You guys ever go on vacation?
We used to go in the later years. We'd go up to Wisconsin for a couple of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and he enjoyed the country. Water. Liked to go out fishing.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he fished.
Where did we go to? Lake Lawn? No, further out. Yeah, Lake Lawn, Wisconsin. He'd make reservations for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go up there. Oh, he gone up there for years. He went up there when he was single. He took his aunt and uncle up there. And he liked it.
Hmm. Oh, I like Wisconsin too.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well, Grandma, I think I'm kind of tapped out on decent questions here. Is there any stories I'm missing that I should record here?
Well, your grandpa was very easygoing.
I remember the story my father told me about jumping off the garage roof and getting in trouble. Is that true? I mean, how does that story go? I'm trying to remember it.
You mean down on Ohio Street?
Yeah, uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Your dad always had a motorbike.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hmm. But he wasn't a hell-raising child. He was,
No. He was very quiet. So was Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Jane went to St. Mary. She come near been a nun. Her father talked her out of that. Of course, your dad went the same path, so they were much under control.
Mm-hmm.
But he never was active in anything there.
And he was in the military.
They wanted him to be a runner. He had great legs. But he wasn't interested.
Well, running is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something else that the kids used to do. But,
Well, I think I've got everything I need here.
well, I hope so.
I've been meaning to do this for years, and I finally remember to do it.
Well, it's a good thing to know because a lot of people, they can't go back. They don't know anything about their ancestry.
Right, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah,
So.
and you can always back it up.
Right. And I've had any number of people that I wished I had talked to when I had a chance to.
And there's only one left in my family now, it's my brother John.
Mm-hmm.
And as I say, he never left Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
He used to go to London for a while to see my sister, but he didn't care for London. And of course, they don't care for the English anyway.
I was going to ask you one question about your. I understand the family, the Dean family and the Barrett family. Were they active in the IRA? Were you or my grandfather or your family involved in fighting the English?
Involved?
Yeah, did you?
No.
You weren't involved in any IRA activities?
Oh. We were there at the time. Of course, my father was too old to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
but they used to. I was growing up at the time, maybe about 13 or 14 years old, and like we had the black and tans to contend with. We went to bed. We were afraid to go to bed at night. All the light, of course, they didn't have any gas light or candle, but there was no lights, and they had shutters. All our windows had shutters, and they were closed tight. And the black and tans had come to the town, and they'd come up to the doors and poke them with the guns. We grew up, we were scared. And they had curfew. You couldn't go out on the street, I think, after 6 o'clock. Because the black and tans, they wonder why they hate England. They were the scum of the earth. They were all prisoners in England. And when this thing broke out, when they wanted to take over, they turned them loose on the people and sent them to Ireland, and they were paying them, what were they paying them? A bob. I don't know if you know what a bob is.
I've heard of it. I don't know how much it is.
In England, they're paid by the bob. When they sent them to Ireland, they said they made their pay £1 a day instead of the English bob. So they turned them loose over there with guns and everything.
What was their job? I mean, what were they supposed to be doing?
Shooting and picking up the orchards. The trouble in the north, it's full of prisoners from that time. It's still going on, and they'll never settle it because England does not want to get out of there.
Why?
It's
why do they not want to get out?
well, do they want to get out of any country they were in?
No, they were
They
pretty
just
much.
got them out of here.
No,
recently.
they left at knife point from pretty much everywhere that they've been.
But
The British Empire.
Belfast is. I've never been in Belfast. We never went down there because they had like curfew and they had guards. In your own country, you can't move around.
So you were 13 when all this was going on? 13,
I was
14?
young, I was young, and they couldn't get messages. Across the street from us, there was Murphy's. They had a public house, and they belonged to the IRA. And they had a lot of IRA people meet there. They had another gang in Athlone at another place where they corresponded, but they could send nothing through the mail. And if a young man was going, they'd, knock him down. So I become the messenger. And me being the kid I was, with the long hair and the big big ribbon on it, and I never knew what I was carrying, but they'd write something and they'd put it on me. One time I had it, my hair was so heavy in between the top of my head, and I had a clam on. I would deliver it. I'd write into Athlone, and I delivered the messages.
Was there British checkpoints and black and tan? I mean, could you have been caught easily?
If the black and tans knew about it, they would have killed me.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Nobody suspected a little girl riding a bike into Athlone. Of course, everybody on the route knew me. The route people, they knew.
But the black and tan were just the scum of English society. They were just
the
prisoners.
Black and Tans were the English bunch. They shot old people in the country, took them out and put them at the end of the gable of the house and shot them.
Why?
Who knows? Because they were Irish, and most of them were Catholic. The black and tans was something else. This treaty and this thing that got going on.
Because I've heard about that.
Yeah. That's going to get no place.
Why?
because England does not want to get out of there. And they had Paisley, he's the big troublemaker. I remember when Bride was here, she came here in 1980. She spent a couple of months with me. And we talked about it, and she said, if they would shoot Paisley tomorrow, or whenever they shoot him, that thing would all clear up, there'd be no trouble. But he's no good, and I see he's sitting in on there, he's objecting now to different things, you know, that the agreement they're coming to. And I don't know, do you remember Preston Bradley? Mm-hmm. He was a minister, I don't know what, at the People's Church. He was everything. He was Irish, and I think he was born here though. But once a week on Sunday, I used to listen to him before I go to church. He had an hour on. He had a big following, People's Church up on the north side. And he used to go to Ireland every year to visit on the holidays. And I remember when the trouble started, I remember him getting on the air. He said, Ireland, a little peaceful country that I love to visit every year. He said, I can't go there no more. He said, all on account of Paisley. He said, he's no good.
No, I know so little about Irish politics and the history of all that. It's one of the things. I saw the movie Michael Collins, and
that was under De Valera.
Yeah.
Michael Collins should never have been murdered.
I saw that movie, and that's the most I've ever been exposed to Irish history.
He sent him on a message that he shouldn't have sent him. He got killed. In 1916 was the uprising in Dublin, Easter week.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big history on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a song, there's everything, who fears to speak of Easter week. The word alone. Well, I have a cousin in London, and he's an entertainer, Jackie Deegan, and he sings in clubs. So anyway, he was singing in this one place, and somebody said to him, they didn't say to him, he made up his mind he was going to sing the song. And the guy said, the owner of the club said, if you sing it, I'll fire you. He said, I'll sing it anyway.
What song?
Easter week.
That's a song?
Yeah. He said,
yeah, I've never heard.
With him. I was going to sing it, and I sang it.
Mm-hmm. And he got fired?
He got fired. He told him ahead of time, if you sing it, see all the English over there.
Around when? When did that happen?
Oh, that must have happened about 20 years back.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are.
I know almost nothing about Irish history like that.
Yeah.
Or current politics even. I mean,
well.
I know my father feels strongly about it.
He keeps up with it.
Yeah, he tries to educate me, and of course.
Yeah, well, he knows what went on. But you have to live through it. I got friends here, there's very few my age left,
mm-hmm.
you know. They're all dead.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this one I talked to her in particular, and I don't know how many brothers she had, and she said they'd kill them, and they'd bring them up to the door and just throw them at the door, because they belonged to the Irish IRA.
Well,
we were only kids at that time. In 19.
So when you came over on the ship, you weren't trying to get away from.
There was no planes.
Yeah.
It's only recently they're getting in here, which I think was a bad deal. They're coming in here from all over, and they're flooding this place out. And they never go back. They come in here as a visitor. And once they get here, they get a job and they don't find them.
Immigrants?
And they don't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
But in them days, when you come in on a ship, It took a long time, and it took a lot of, they had a history of everybody. And they knew where they came. They came to New York. And when they came to New York, they were quarantined there. And unless they had somebody to pick them up, they didn't get out of there.
And now it's real easy to just come into the country.
Now, get on a plane and pay your way, you can go anywhere.
Right.
You don't need a passport, you don't need anything.
That's true.
That's how it is.
Well, that's one thing airplanes brought to the world, I guess, is the ability to go anywhere you want, whenever you want. And not answer to anybody.
I remember your dad got a passport already, he figures on taking a trip. But I had to have passports to come back and forth, even the last time. And they're good for 10 years.
Yeah, I've got one.
You got one too.
I got one because I went to Canada.
Yeah. Well, they're good to have.
Just for an emergency, at least.
But anyway, no, them days, they came in here and nobody knew. And here, you had to have somebody to meet you. They had a farm so big where you were going and who you were going to and what they did and so forth and so on. And you spoke English. You didn't come in not knowing, you know, what you could speak to people and you could get a job right away.
Well, Grandma, I don't have anything else to ask you, and I'm supposed to go over to John's house. I haven't seen John and Barb yet, so I'm gonna.
You're supposed to go to John?
Yeah, I haven't seen him yet. We haven't been able to get together.
How much time you're leaving this evening?
Leaving in about.
Would you like a drink or something?
Yeah, I would. I've been talking a lot. I'm sure you would like a
something.
drink. Yeah, sure.
A cup of coffee or a cup of tea or.
Well, just a Pepsi or a Coke or some soft drink or something. Whoop, careful. When we shoot these interviews, you know, for television, we always tape down the wire so people don't trip on them.